US or in Nigeria can always go to the US embassy and do whatever they want to do. What is your take as regards this?
Ihe nji mara ya bụ onye ike, ihe nji mara gị bụ onye ike, ihe nji mara gị bụ onye ike, ihe nji mara gị bụ onye ike, ihe nji mara ya 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 onye ike. I remember my humble self, the Biafran evangelist Benjamin Johnson Ezesinachi, one and the only, the one that will always speak the truth. I love what is happening today. All over the world, it's all about Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. Everybody in Germany is talking about Biafra. You go to Finland, they are talking about Biafra. You go all the entire Europe talking about Biafra, America, Biafra, in Nigeria, Biafra, Africa, Biafra, all the continent in the world. Today is all about Biafra. And I give God the glory. He that have brought somebody like Ngozi Orabeze, you know, a woman, a man-woman. I call her a man-woman. She is in the form of a woman, but act as a man. What others could not do is what she have done. What others could not achieve is what she have achieved, because she followed the procedure and the protocols of her leaders, like Mazen Namdekano, Simon Ekpan, and now she have taken the step where they stop and lay the foundation. She continued from the process. Today you can see it that in opposite Washington DC, you will see, in case you are living in America, please, when you reach to Washington DC, you want to see Biafran Embassy, just travel to Washington DC. Opposite the capital, the head office, you will see it, a Biafran Embassy. Boldly, you can see the flag going. The Biafran Embassy. The Biafran Embassy in a very bold Biafran color. You understand? Red, black, and a little yellow and green inside of it. You will see the design in a very big bold flag. You see, that is to tell you that this Biafran issue, despite the fact that Nigeria is afraid to recognize it, the whole world, the entire world have recognized it. And you know what that means? For this embassy to stand before the Washington DC in the watch, under the watch of Donald Trump. You can see Donald Trump, how strictly he is. But for him to allow this, you know, to behold and to stand, you know, in the place like Washington DC, that means Biafra is not just a baby talk. It is not a talk of the men, the real men. I mean the real men. Yes. See, let me tell you, this woman has done a lot. You see, I love her so much, because I love her as a result of her what? Her love, her conscience, her contribution, her integrity, her immunity, her impressions, and her expression. That is why I love her so much, because she is doing well, because she have heart of Biafran. She have the blood of Biafran. She have the love of Biafran, and she have the spirit of Biafra. You can see it happening, taking place today, and you are going to see the parade of the Biafran men, the Biafran soldiers, the Biafran people in diaspora, you know, representing and proving what they are know, you know, to know which you see the different kind of dances, different kind of parade, different kind of display today in Washington DC, under the watch, the nose of no other person than J. Trump.
Trump. So you are trying to say that Donald Trump is fully in support of Biafra and its constitution, and also recently opened embassy. Of course. You can see, you know, when on the 20th, it was not 20th of January 2025, during his inauguration, who did Donald Trump invite? Ngozi Orabeze. Who is Ngozi Orabeze representing? Biafra. The out of the continent of Africa. How many African leaders that was invited? Only Biafra was invited for that inauguration. Only Biafran was recognized in that inauguration, and that is no other person than Ngozi Orabeze.
Do you understand? Because had it been that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is free, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu would have been the person, to be there, or Simon Ekpa. But because they are not free, they are under, trials. So the person representing Biafra, the one that have taken it up, is the one that have represented us in his inauguration, 20th of January, 2025. So as today may be, being the day of the Biafrans all over the world, Donald Trump is there live to inaugurate the what? Biafran Embassy in Washington, D.C., America, United States of America. See, that is to tell you how love it is, how Donald Trump have embraced Biafra, because he himself have looked into this country called Biafra. He saw the light, he saw the truth. He said he saw, things that will later play. Why I say I use the word he saw, because it is something that they have seen before now. So it is a past tense. Those that are waiting to see it now are just babies. The elders have already seen it. And that is why you see what is happening today. Glory be to God. You can see all over in America, all over in the world. Glory, glory, Lord. We give you glory, Lord. Glory, glory, Lord. You are a mighty God.
Okay, but today has been reported that Simon Ekpa will be visiting the court there in Kilimanjaro, Finland, Lati to be precise. What's your take as regards this?
Yes, Simon Ekpa, he will be appearing in the court. Today is all about Biafra. That's why I use the word. It's all about Biafra, and all over the world is a Biafran day. Biafra, Biafra, Biafra in the Asian continent, Biafra in the Europe, Biafra in the America, Biafra in the Africa. All over the world is all about Biafra. In late Europe, Simon Ekpa going to court. In America today, Biafran Embassy. Are you hearing me? In Africa here is a remembrance of our fallen heroes. So it's all about what? Biafra. So I will say all this. Simon Ekpa, the same way Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is defeating Nigeria with the Nigerian law and Nigerian constitution, the same way he will conquer Nigeria in late Finland, because they are fighting the same thing, the same struggle. Defend your land. The people of the land have the right to defend their land, and that was exactly what they did. Simon Ekpa was doing. Do you ever see Igbo man or hear in the news that there's a group of Igbos who travel to Borno State to go and kill somebody or vandalize anybody or rape their girls? Have you ever heard that? Or in Lagos here, there's a group of Igbo in the West here, in the Yoruba land, vandalize their farm, kill their people, or pursue anybody out of their ancestral land? Have you ever heard that? That the Igbo people travel to another place like a Plateau, Borno, Kebbi, Taraba, Katsina, Sokoto, all those places, travel to that place to vandalize, to take life, to rape, to... No, tell me, can you mention any? None. So what Simon Ekpa was doing is according to the law. So he have no case to answer. Finland just want to fulfill all righteousness. Let it not be as if they did not react based on the first allegation they leveled against their citizen. The one that they trusted so much. That is why they want to take him under a process. Let him go through the process. Let everybody see it. Let Nigeria know that yes, this man, the court have declared him innocent. Just as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu today is, having upper hand over Nigeria. Are you hearing me? So on this note, there is no case, my beloved. There is no case to answer. You hear me? Simon Ekpa is already a victorious man. He's a free man. Nigeria have nothing against him, and they cannot offer anything. I know that the people that are behind all this are the British. Because why? The 65% to up to 85% of our oil, crude oil, that they are carrying every day on a daily basis, all those money they are collecting from our, importation, the seaport, and all those, their uru freaking money They are just a wolf money. They are packing from Nigeria. That is what they don't want to lose. You know, and all these Europeans, they are too lazy. The British are too lazy. They have nothing. They always want to feed on Africa, yet they don't want to bring development to Africa. Yes, they always feed on Africa. They don't want to bring development to Africa. They don't want Africa to develop. They don't want Africa to rise. Let me tell you, do you know why France are losing more today? Which the British will follow suit. Maba, when did the war stop? The war stopped, the Second World War stopped 1945, 44 to 44. That was when Second World War stopped. I want to tell you, I want to remind you of history. Let's go back to history. Do you know that all the French countries from Africa that fought for France, at the end of the day, when the war ended, there are some set of them who came out and claimed that the French people should pay them equally like their own counterpart that are the Europe. Do you know what the French government did to them? They select all of them and they wipe all of them. They assassinated all of them. Baba, go and find out this history that I am giving to you. That is to tell you how wicked the Europeans is. That is to tell you the kind of heart the Europeans have towards the Africans. You know, to tell you how they hated with the Africans. So it is the high time and the right time Africans unite. It is the right time African leaders wake up from their slumber. You should not allow yourself to be used by all these European janjaweeds. The European wicked elements. Let me tell you, all what they are using to develop their country comes from Africa. But they don't want me and you to see roads. They don't want us to see road. What stopped the British for allowing Nigeria to run a regional government? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Why? But they themselves, they are running regional governments in their place, bringing development in their place, but they don't want it in Africa because they know what they stand to lose if that should take place in Africa. Because we begin to develop our place, use what we have to develop our place, they will not have that 65 to 85% of our crude oil again. Even if I thought they are going to lay hand on oil, it will not be up to that percentage. You see why they are making sure they are fighting that Africa did not develop, Africa did not wake up, Africa eye must not be open. Do you see why they are fighting against Biafra? Do you see why they fought? It was the Biafran war. Let me tell you, the Biafran war was Igbos versus NATO. What to me? Igbos versus what? NATO. The man who threw the bomb, the heaviest bomb in Biafra land, came from Russia. Is about 80-something years today. Are you hearing me? Russia, America, British, NATO. These are the people that fought Biafra because Ojukwu, we the Biafrans conquer Nigeria. We conquer them neat. We beat them neat. That's why they tell you no winner, no vanquish. Because they themselves know now British language. Now British, you look at this, they know that now them will be NATO, now them fight Biafra. That left to Biafra and Nigeria, that Biafra have already conquered Nigeria. Because Ojukwu have conquered down to Ore. He has gotten to Ore. As at that time, Lagos was the capital of Nigeria when Gowon was, the sitting president. He has conquered, he's coming director, and once he enter Lagos, he have automatically conquered and finished Nigeria. You see why Gowon betray him. Gowon now leaked the secret, and they cut Ojukwu off, at Ore. And who are the people that they use? This story. See, let me tell you, go and Google this thing that I am telling you today. Why is it that the Cameroon are fighting Nigeria over Bakassi Peninsula? It was that Bakassi Peninsula that they used as a collateral to stop the Biafrans from passing that channel, to pass their food from that channel. Are you getting it? To feed their resources from that side in order to continue fighting. They went and used the Bakassi Peninsula as a collateral, as an exchange with the Cameroon, for Cameroon to cut us off. Do you understand? So all these things are the history pertains to today, as all today is all about. That is why I pointed all these facts, which I expect you, please, and the viewers, please, I don't want you to rely only on what I say. I want to, with this point of view of mine, go and do your findings to know if I speak the truth or not. I am telling you the fact, which is the reality. It was a NATO versus Biafra. Thank you, and God bless you.
Out or strike out, this evidence against Nnamdi Kanu. With this now, what does this entail for Biafra and Nnamdi Kanu?
Fight that requires so many intelligences and so many sacrifice and so many things that are, regard to this freedom. To get a freedom is not an easy task. It's a very huge task. You can see during yesterday, the Nigerian legal team, was asked to present their third witness, of which, glory be to God, finally the third witness came with a clip of videos and some write-up, that carried the signature of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and it was played, obviously, and according to what I watched and I saw in the court, the video clip that was played indicates that it was only Mazi Nnamdi Kanu face that was shown. The person interrogating him or interviewing him was not shown. I don't know where that happens. I've told you people that it's only in Nigeria that masquerade abuse witness in the court. You can see this one, and there is another man mentioned, Brown, Dr. Brown, and that man denied, the witness denied of knowing somebody called Brown, that his own name was BBB and PWA whatsoever. And the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was like, I don't know any. The person that I know that interrogated me is Dr. Brown. You understand? Where is he? And where is the video? Where is the voice? Because everything should be, under, recorded. As you people said, they initially denied, remember, they initially denied of being responsible for part of his kidnapping from Kenya. Remember? And now they are playing this video. And at the same time, there was a document that carried Mazi Nnamdi Kanu signature. And on this, that's why Omotosho called it trials before what? Trials. Because it was admitted to. Because Mazi Nnamdi Kanu admitted it. Yeah, this is me, and this is me talking. I didn't deny the fact that I say this, and I say this, and I say this, I sign this, or I write this. But the fact is, these people force me. You must not force somebody to go against his way. And that is what it means. That's why he used the word under duress. When it comes to duress, you understand? Duress is either life or death. It's a threat to life. And anything that, comes to threat of life shouldn't be accommodated by the Nigerian court of law. The law does not permit it. You remember? Yeah. So, and hence the law did not permit anything called duress, life or death, that involve threatening of life. Whatsoever that goes within that range or that time will not be acknowledged by the law. So, having said this, the next thing again, what he wrote and signed was at the same time under duress again. And he now said again that they should check that he was breathing, because the place that he was thrown to was in a very dark underground. And, one of Kanu Agabiya, the chief counsel of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, he made mention that, yes, somebody like Sowore, Sahara reporter, made statements regarding to that kind of place in DSS. And not only them, many people have made that statement. And they asked him, are you aware of that? He said no, that the Kanu was just flaming up all these things just to, defend himself. And at the end of the day, to short the story, at the end of the day, it was found truly. Because before you begin to interrogate somebody, his legal team, as his lawyer, regard to his lawyer, must be aware. I don't know if you get it, but the lawyer was not aware. They were not informed. Neither, we are there, included in that interrogation. So actually, it was under duress. It was a forceful word interrogation. He was forced to admit what he did not commit. He was forced to welcome things against his will. You understand? Which is improper. So on this note, you can see what Omotosho ended up striking after, trial versus trial, trial upon trial, that, as he said, trial for trial. At the end of the day, he struck it and he admitted it that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was molested and his right was, violated. And on that fact, that it was truly under duress regarding the fact that his lawyers legal team was not informed, neither are they aware of that interrogation. So definitely, because they asked the man, the witness, are you aware that he was breathing? You understand? And before you people now gave him like 1 hour to go out, to take him out for him to have a fresh air. Do you understand? Yes, now air time, so that they can refresh a little bit to breathe normal air. You understand? Because of the breathe. And let me tell you, my brother, without brutalization, there will be no bleeding. Are you hearing me? I repeat, without brutalization, there will be no bleeding. Something leads to that. They tortured him. That indicates that they truly tortured him. They truly, violated his rights, human rights. Do you understand? So, and on that note, that word resulted to his bleeding. And today, glory be to God, so far so good. James Omotosho have handled it. Although I don't have faith in him, I don't believe in him. I don't believe, in Nigerian court, and I don't see him getting judiciously, justice. But I believe so far so good with what has happened, is already knocking Nigeria, giving Nigeria 1-0, yes. So far, because at the end of the day, the man said, yes, he was under duress, truly. So far and so long, his team, the lawyers, are not aware, neither was there then when the trials, the interrogation was going on. So it is out of his right. On that is under duress. That was where Mazen Nnamdi Kanu score +1.
But a lot of people have come out and said that what Nigeria, that this case is more than just Omotosho. Just like you said, he said, even though Nnamdi Kanu wins this case, will they let him go? We've seen it happen over and over again. I do think that it will be let go because, just like I said, this case is bigger than Omotosho. Probably some people will say it's even bigger than the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That people who controlling this country are imperialists and they are being used by the Fulanis to make things happen in this country. Do you think that Nnamdi Kanu will be given his freedom if he actually finally wins this time around?
This is not the first time Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is winning. He won in Umuahia, Abia State. He won in Enugu State. In Abuja Court of Appeal, he won. Now this is another federal high court again under Omotosho after the defeat of Nyako, Justice Nyako. So this is a judge which I believe that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu admitted that yes, he prefer James Omotosho to try him, which the trial has started. I give a see, let me tell you the facts. Like I earlier said, I don't see justice coming from this case, and I don't see him working freely. But if that happens, glory be to God. That means Aka Chukwu there. Yeah, Aka Chukwu there. Glory be to God. Are you hearing me? Let me tell you, there are things you don't know about Nigeria, and I will tell you today. Every president that ruled this country is backed up by the British. So what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is going through, the British are involved.
Because they're not saying anything as regards this.
Yes, you can see, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is trying to break up. And once there is anything breaking up in Nigeria, definitely the power of the British is being broken or being destroyed in Nigeria. And at the same time, the resources gain, which they are gaining from Nigeria, will be what? Disturbed, cut off. So there is no way there could be. Watch now, a whole citizen of British, they have not said anything, despite the fact that his right was violated. And they have not said up to this very moment. It was once when the America started, involving themselves, all those veterans all over the world, people started putting chukun their eyes and mouth. That is when Nigeria, British now sent one delegate concerning the case. You understand? So that is to tell you how far. So this case is not going to be, only Nigeria. It is a case of the world. And that is why, as you said, it's bigger than Nigeria and it's bigger than Tinubu himself. Court, Omotosho have already said that even if he free Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, that doesn't mean that he will go home. There is every tendency of him winning in the court because he has won before, and yet Nigerian government refused to let him go. There is a tendency of them not allowing him, even if he win again. You can see he has scored another +1. So there is every tendency of them not allowing him to go. You understand? But I like as it's going now, because by the time he finally defeats Nigeria here again in Nigeria, and they refuse to allow him to go, then probably international world will now look into the matter. As you can see now, remember one time Traore was given an opportunity to come to Nigeria, invitation, he refused. Why? Because of the kind of government and the kind of leaders we have in Nigeria. You understand? And that just look under many countries like that. See, let me tell you, do you know that UK traveled to Canada to plead for the freedom of Canada, and why they were turned down, messed up? See, let me tell you what the game is going. The game